Hello and welcome to day 29 of our Osteoporosis Awareness Challenge. Today we're going to talk about salt and how it affects bone health. For many years, doctors and scientists believed that too much salt would actually cause damage to our bones. The aside here is that too much of anything isn't good for us. Moderation in general is a really good thing, and when it comes to nutrition, finding the Goldilocks zone of just right is always important. Coming back to salt, our salt intake affects our blood pressure, and given that, scientists expected to find that when a person's blood pressure is high, that they would also be inclined to have higher amounts of calcium in their urine, meaning that they lose more calcium than they should be. But what they found surprised them. There are numerous recent medical studies that indicate that salt intake does not appear to be a major factor in bone health. Some studies show an increase in bone mineral density with higher intakes of salt. This does not mean that we should adopt a high salt diet, however. According to the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, our message is low sodium intake by itself is not likely to be beneficial to your bones. We definitely don't want to go further than that and say that high sodium is good for them. On the eating front, if we avoid processed foods, we avoid about 70% of the salt intake of the average American diet. That means that you can choose what kind of salt you want added to your home-cooked food. Did you know that most of the salt that we consume is refined? That means that it has most of its nutrients stripped out of it. There are several kinds of salt that are not refined and have a variety of trace minerals that are still available in them. Himalayan pink salt, Celtic sea salt, and real salt are all unrefined salts that have not had their nutrients stripped away. One important thing to mention here is that they're not good sources of natural iodine. Iodine in salt is something that's added to refined salt. So if you choose to use unrefined salt, it then becomes important to make sure that you're getting iodine from another food source like fish, chicken, or seaweed. Himalayan pink salt comes from the mines in Pakistan. The mines in Pakistan are a tourist destination with many people choosing to visit every year. Himalayan pink salt has an earthy flavor, and it's prized by people all over the world for its taste and its superior nutritional benefits. Hundreds of millions of years ago, pink salt dried up from an ancient seabed. It has less than 1% of moisture in it. Celtic sea salt, in contrast to pink salt, has up to 15% moisture in it. Celtic sea salt is harvested by hand in Brittany, France. Celtic salt has a briny flavor to it. Real salt comes from Redmond, Utah, and is harvested from an ancient ocean similar to Himalayan pink salt. Each of these salts has trace minerals in them. So today, for our Osteoporosis Awareness Challenge, I invite you to consider the different types of salt that you consume and then evaluate whether or not you need to increase, decrease, or maintain your salt intake. And on that note, I look forward to talking with you tomorrow.